In this video, I'm going to walk through the process of using the Landscape Legend Lightroom presets to process a photo. Landscape Legend includes 4 different types of presets. It includes 100 one-click presets for quick effects. It includes workflow presets that are stackable and can be used to create endless options that are customized for your particular photo. It also includes a set of graduated filter presets and adjustment brush presets. For this tutorial, I'm going to work with the stackable workflow presets as well as the graduated filter presets. And I'm going to be using this sample photo that was taken in Ocean City, New Jersey, about half an hour before sunrise. The raw file is pretty dull and needs a little bit of life, so I'm going to work with the presets to see what we can do with it. So if you open up Landscape Legend workflow presets, you'll see they're broken down into different sections. Each section, the presets will only impact that section, so you can use presets from different sections together and combine them to get the effect that you want. And you can experiment within a particular section without impacting your other adjustments. So the best way to understand it really is to kind of work through it. So the first section is for black and white conversions, and I'm not going to convert this photo to black and white, so I can just skip over that. The second section is for white balance adjustments. So I'm going to just experiment with the different presets here to see what works best. So I'll try the auto, white balance, daylight, cloudy, and shade. And I think I'm going to stick with shade. I like that one the best. So then moving on, the next section is for exposure adjustments. At this point, I'm not going to adjust the exposure. I might come back and make a slight change to it later after the other adjustments, but for now I'm just going to skip that. Then moving on to the next section, tone adjustments. I want to give this photo some HDR tones, so I'm going to experiment with the different HDR tone presets and see what works best. There is a soft HDR, stronger, max, and bold. The stronger and max get a little bit flat with this photo, so I think I like the bold HDR tones the best. It doesn't look flat. Then I'll move on to contrast. So you can decrease contrast or increase. I'm going to give it a little bit of a contrast boost, but I don't want to do anything too strong, so I'm just going to try these different presets and see what I like best. I think I'm going to go with the low contrast boost. Gives it a little bit of a boost, but not too much. Then we'll move on to clarity adjustments. These clarity boosts will give it the appearance of a sharper look. So again, I'm going to experiment and just see what looks best. Okay, so I want to increase clarity, but I don't want to go too far, so I'm going to go with a moderate clarity boost. And then we'll move on to vibrance and saturation. You can desaturate or add vibrance and saturation. This photo really doesn't have many colors in it, so I'm really going to be more aggressive with the vibrance and saturation boost. In most cases, with most photos, I usually stick with the minimal boost or a moderate boost at the strongest, but in this case, probably going to want a stronger boost since there really aren't many colors here. So I think I'm going to go with the preset that's called Overdone, which on most photos would be too much, but in this particular case it works well. Then there are several different curves adjustments for the next section. I'm not going to use any of the curves adjustments here, but there are options for adding contrast, adding matte effects, haze, brightening, cross-processed effects, vintage effects. There's a lot of different options there. The next section I'm also going to skip for now, the color adjustments. These are helpful when you want to boost a blue sky. There's a few different strengths there. Some other options for boosting greens, like if your shot is a field or a lot of trees and you want to bring out the greens. Then there are options to boost both blues and greens at the same time. Then there are options for autumn colors plus blue, autumn colors plus green. So there's a lot of different options there. nothing that I'm going to use with this photo. Split toning, I'm going to try to warm it up a little bit. So I'll try the light warming filter, and I'll try the strong. I actually like the strong better, so I'm going to leave that one selected. Then moving on to sharpening, I'm going to use the light sharpening preset. You're really not going to see the difference in the video, but it will apply a very small amount of sharpening. I'm going to skip over the noise reduction, and also going to skip over the grain. I don't want to add any grain to this photo, but if you want to add grain, there are several different presets there. So then we'll move into the lens corrections. I will add the lens profile correction, which will remove some of the distortion and vignetting from the lens. And then I'm also going to click on the remove chromatic aberration. I don't think this photo really has issues with chromatic aberration, but it doesn't hurt anything to select that, so I typically do. And then for the vignette, I'm going to just try these different ones and see if anything looks good with the photo. So I think I want to add a very small vignette, so I'm going to go with minimal. And so that concludes the work with the workflow presets. So at this point you can see before and the after, but we're not done yet. I'm going to move on and use some of the graduated filter presets to work with the sky. This is a sunrise photo, but the sky is a little bland, so I'm going to try there's some different options here for sunset presets, different colors and different strengths. I want something kind of strong, so I'm going to try the different stronger options. There's a strong orange, a dramatic orange, a strong purple, a dramatic purple, a strong red, and a dramatic red. I'm going to go with the purple, I think, dramatic purple. Okay, and now I also want to darken the sky a little bit. So what I'm going to do is select the graduated filter, and I'm going to have to add it manually. These graduated filter presets will add one graduated filter at a time. You can't add multiple graduated filters that way. If you want to add multiple ones, you'll have to come over here to the graduated filter tool, click on new, and then I'll drag down to apply it to the photo. Try to line it up with the horizon. So right now this is applying a second purple sunset graduated filter, which I don't want to do. I want to change it. So with that filter selected, I'm going to go over to the drop down and select the half stop graduated filter, and that will darken the sky a little bit. I want to go back over and select the purple sunrise filter and line that up a little bit. And after I darken the sky, I think that the purple effect looks a little strong, so I'm going to go over here and reduce the contrast a little bit. It's set to 60. I'm going to drop it down to 40. I think that gives me the look that I want. So that completes the work on the photo. Here you can see the after version, and here's the before. So we went from this to this in just a few minutes pretty easily. You can see how the workflow presets and the graduated filter presets work, and you can do it pretty quickly once you get used to the presets, and do it much quicker than I did here talking through the different steps. Thank you for watching.